Building I worked on had a small room with a couch and lockable door that nobody used. That's kind of base. Bro, I remember being in high school and being in my shop class when I went to a trade high school, and it was for electrical engineering. And there would be times where we were out doing some shit around the school, and I would just go back to the main room and take a nap. We had these walls where we would mount like switches too, and like lights and whatnot, and you would like route the PVC piping or the metal piping, but you would have like a big ass fucking stick with a metal thing on the other side that you could bend the piping around to whatever angle you needed, and you'd fix it to the wall and run the wires through. We had walls like that were on wheels that you could move around. So what I would do was I would encase myself within those walls so that anybody who walked by couldn't see me asleep. And then I would have 2 chairs or 3, and I would line them up and lay on them, because once again, I'd be up way too late, probably like playing video games or whatever. This is in high school, and yeah, that was funny. Never got in trouble for that, luckily. That's right. I've got your mother's credit card information. You're the one who gave it to me. I don't know why you gave it to me. I love the caught emote so much, dude. One day, I will beat it into everybody to just constantly be making emotes that I'm referencing up here in the chat. It's been 4 years. Perhaps in 4 more. I think it's been more than that, but I don't really count like the first year of my streaming, because that was like the... Well, there was like the first year of my streaming was whatever, because it was the first year. But then there was like the interim period post-COVID, where I was just speedrunning a ROM hack of Super Mario 64, not working because of COVID and hating life. Because like I fell off on the content thing. But then we recovered. And I've been feeling pretty good lately about the content stuff. At least my ability to do it. Appreciate that, Cyberdank. I'm doing all right. I had a terrible headache last night. I had a good day yesterday, all things considered. I got good food. It was chill. But I ended up having a headache, and then I had terrible sleep. Went to bed with the headache, and then woke up with it, and it's still kind of lingering. It's not that bad. So my sleep was toasted. Actually, I could see how well I slept. Let's see. 8 hours? No way. What do you mean 8 hours? I don't believe that for a goddamn second. Ain't no goddamn way, bro. Skibbity toilet. Sorry. I got problems. I'm looking at the accurate sleep information that my watch records. Yeah, that's what the fuck I thought. 7 hours, not 8. The fuck? Wait, why is there a discrepancy with that? I was awake for an hour and 40 minutes, which is rare. That's how you know. I'm usually only awake for like 10 minutes, I think. Oh, is this a nap? Oh, it recorded a nap that I took. I think? Yeah. Yeah, I took a nap, which is rare for me. Let's see. So this is a good night's sleep. A really good night's sleep. Holy shit. Yeah, 23-minute awake on a good night. Absolutely dicko mode sleep. On like a still good but not exceptional 32 minutes awake. So yeah, like an hour and 40 awake. That's a big L for me. On like a comparable amount of sleep, 8 hours, 52 minutes awake. Like that, even that is good. Let's see, this was a pretty bad night apparently. An hour 14 for a 6 hour, 48 minute asleep session. Anyway, it's interesting information. Does it feel to sleep that long? I average around 4.5 a night. Well, I never awake feeling rested, and I'm always tired because of my allergies, mostly now. ADHD depression was a big part of that as well. So, I mean, it's cool. It's like I time skip 8 hours to start my next day. Oh, that's neat. Not a nap guy. Yeah, no, I don't like naps either. Mostly because I've never taken them and had them feel good. But also because I have to cover my bed so that the cats can't poison me with their allergens. So if I'm going to take a nap in my own bed, it's going to be like I would have to like undo the cat cover and then close my door so the cats can't get in and then nap. And that's a lot of work. And then like if I like otherwise I could like nap on the couch, but that has also the cat allergen problem, and the cats can show up and wake me up, and so can human beings. Even if they don't mean to, obviously, because I'm a pretty light sleeper. So it's just not in the cards, really. If I ever do take a nap, it's usually like at my desk. I'll sleep like this, like, you know, like if you fall asleep at a desk. And that'll be for like 5-10 minutes. And then I awake with my arms like falling asleep because my head has been on them. And that's usually enough for me. I did, however, have a period of time where this is around when I first started streaming. I would get off work. So I would get to work at like 9 or 10, and I would get out of work at 5. So I would get home, and then I had intended to stream that night as well. So I would do whatever it is I was needing to do, usually eating food, because I would take food home from work that I would get for a discount. You know, pretty good one sometimes, and also sometimes a pretty subpar one. And I would eat that, watch whatever I was watching, yada yada, and then start stream. That was the normal. But sometimes I would have such a shit sleep the night before, usually because I stayed up too late doing whatever else on the computer, that I'd have to get up at like 10 or before 10 to be able to drive to work. And then I would, you know, work my day, come home, get home like 5:30, because my commute was like an hour both ways, including both ways, I shouldn't say, so a half hour both ways. And then I would be drinking coffee on the way home while I was driving, obviously. I would take it from my job, because I got it for free. Legally, too. It's kind of cool. And then I would take a 15-minute power nap upon arriving at home. And it was actually not a bad play. And then I would get up from that, because I would make an alarm for like 25 minutes. Takes a little bit to get to sleep. And then that power nap would set me up, plus the caffeine then kicking in upon wake up. And I would get, you know, to go live or whatever for the live stream. And, you know, that was that. And I did that for a fair amount. There was one time, this might have been the day before I started streaming ever. I had worked the day of the same schedule. And then I got home. Oh, no, this is how it was. So sorry, I have to take my fucking... I am the Riddler, so I have to take my Ritalin. I forgot to do that. I take it twice a day. It's not a 1 day in the morning thing for my dosage. And it works out better this way, because then I can have it for the stream. Anyway, yeah, that's how it was. So it was like, I think it was like, it was either the day of the first ever conure report, which was when I was doing video essays that I would write, I would script them, and I would record the scripts live on stream. It would be like a recorded in front of a live studio audience thing. And I would, you know, I'd do the takes, and if I made mistakes, I would do retakes and stuff like that, and talk to chat in between, and then edit that into the full video. Those are some of the first videos on my channel. And then, so I think it was either before the first time I ever did that, for the first episode of the conure report, or the first ever stream. It might have been the conure report, though, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. Either way, it was like a big event for me to be streaming. And I had terrible sleep the night before, so on my break, which was only 30 minutes, mind you, at work, I forewent eating a meal on my break as I normally would, and I went to my car and took a nap in my car. And I could have, now in hindsight, I could have taken a nap in the backseat of my car and laid down, in hindsight, but I decided to take a nap in the driver's seat, and I just reclined the seat all the way. I'm not exactly sure why I decided to do that. Maybe because if people were, like, walking by, seeing me, like, in the driver's seat is like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, they look like they're wearing a work uniform. They're taking a nap on their break. Godspeed to them. And then, like, if I'm in the back seat, it's like, has somebody invaded this person's car and is sleeping in the back of it when they're not aware? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I don't want to deal with that, I guess. And I ended up having fucking sleep paralysis in the goddamn driver's seat of my car when I was taking that nap, which was really fucking interesting. Now, of course, sleep paralysis for me is never that bad. Luckily, I'm very lucky for that fact. I have theories as to why. I'm able to break out of it really quickly. I'm able to realize that I'm in it very quickly, and then break out of it usually by focusing on moving, you know, a single muscle sometimes, or like focusing on moving my whole body. It feels like I'm moving through quicksand and through like TV static kind of. And I don't actually end up moving, but like in my mind, the hallucination that I'm having while in sleep paralysis, like I feel like I've moved and I look like I'm moving. But when I snap back to reality and whoop, there goes the sleep paralysis, I'm back in the position that I was in before, even though I was seeing myself moving. It's very fucking weird. Sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming, both sides of the same coin. You want the lucid dreaming part. You do not want the sleep paralysis, but they can often come hand in hand because it's the same kind of thing going on. You're conscious when you're asleep, and you're conscious of the fact that you're sleeping, but your body's asleep and your mind's awake, and you're in the dream and it's poggers. And then when you're sleep paralysising, your body is asleep, but your mind is like awake in reality. You know what I mean? That was a bad explanation. Let me try that again. In sleep paralysis, your body is asleep, right? You're paralyzed because your body paralyzes itself with a chemical when you're sleeping, so you don't act out your dreams, sleepwalking, violent dreams, yada, 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 because you could, die from getting eaten by a tiger or something. So your body is still paralyzed, but you've woken up. Your mind is awake, in awake state, right? And that's not good, because then you're subject to auditory, visual hallucinations. Your mind doesn't like when your body is paralyzed, shockingly. So it inherently feels like shit. There's like often people will get like a profound sense of dread and danger. Obviously, it's like flight or fight, but like you can't move, so you're fucked. It's not good. And then lucid dreaming, on the other hand, is becoming conscious while you're asleep. So you're in a dream and you become conscious like you're awake in real life, but you're still sleeping. So you can affect the events of the dream world you're in a variety of ways, to a variety of extents, depending on how good at the lucid dreaming you are. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, it's a long way to say that, luckily for me, sleep paralysis is never that bad. But that was interesting. And now I'm on a tangent talking about shit for no goddamn reason, because this is what I do on the channel. When I was working, I used to lay down during my break and rest because I have fatigue issues. Fair and reasonable. I used to do that as well. I would find a table. I worked at a food service establishment. I would find a table in like the least publicly viewable spot possible. And I would just lay my head on my hands and like sleep at the table sometimes. Because one, I would work long hours and I only got 1.5 hour break. If I was working like an 11-hour day, which I sometimes would, I could like finesse another 1/2 hour break out of the managers, because luckily, they weren't that evil. And also I had terrible time management and went to bed too late all the time. Nothing has changed on that front. I nap in the backseat working Saturdays. I feel like I already read that, but I don't remember. Hello, Barney. What's going on, man? Ooh, what a good boy. Jacket is clean, though. Thank you. I thrifted it. Building I worked on had a small room with a couch and lockable door that nobody used. That's kind of based. Bro, I remember being in high school and being in my shop class, which was like when I went to a trade high school, and it was for electrical engineering. So it was like the wiring of residential and commercial buildings. And there would be times where we were out doing some shit around the school, and I would just go back to the main room and take a nap. We had these walls where you could, I don't know why, I'm eating hair, bro. It's a delicacy in some places, I'm sure, but not here. We had these walls where we would mount like switches to and like lights and whatnot, and you would like route the PVC piping or the metal piping, with the name of which I don't remember, but you would have like a big ass fucking stick with a metal thing on the other side that you could bend the piping around to whatever angle you needed, and you'd fix it to the wall and run the wires through. Anyway, we had walls like that were on wheels that you could move around. So what I would do is I would encase myself within those walls so that anybody who walked by couldn't see me asleep. And then I would have 2 chairs or 3, and I would line them up and lay on them. Because once again, I'd be up late, way too late, probably like playing video games or whatever. This is in high school. And yeah, that was funny. Never got in trouble for that, luckily. I remember so like there's a bunch of different spots. In one of the areas we had, don't you fuck around, big man. There was like a couple rooms. One was like the shop room where like you would do shit. And there was like one room which was like a classroom. And in the shop room, there was another back room where like we kept supplies and shit. And I would sleep back there sometimes in a chair, in the cuck chair back there. That was fun. Which is a long-winded way to say that I've carried over some skills from my time in electrician work, in that I know how to utilize tools, and I know very rough wiring stuff. I used to know a lot more advanced wiring shit. We put dimmer switches in some of the rooms on the light switches. That's very simple shit. And then the rest of all the time that I was in high school has been completely wasted. And I wasted so much time. I wanted to be a union electrician for a while because, like, it paid decent money. I didn't really have a passion for it. I was actually trying to go into the graphic design program because graphic design was my passion at the time. But apparently that class was, quote, full. I don't know what that means. So I ended up going into my second choice, which was electrical application or whatever. And then I just never cared enough to try to switch back. And yeah, I just, now I'm here. There's a success story happening every moment. I don't know why I'm eating hair, bro. I'm gonna get a hairball. What's up, Mortham? You look like that guy from TikTok. Are you real, like, actually, question mark? I don't know. You tell me. I could tell you with certainty that I do not have a TikTok. So you might be thinking of somebody else. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. Or somebody's posting my shit on TikTok and I'm unaware of it. And I might have to clap him. Not sure. Hello, Max Lotus. Show race? Well, they could be, like, into Formula 1. You don't know. We'll find out. It is their first message, but... At this point, I think the hair in the mouth feeling is psychosomatic. Like, I'm making it up. Succosomatic. But it is fucking with me. You hear all of Speener's Joker TikToks were muted because they took the sound off because of TikTok, like removing music shit? Yeah, it's fucked up. I'm pissed, and I think it was targeted against Speener specifically. It's very fucked up. Luckily, Twitch and YouTube are very creator-first and friendly, and have never made any decisions that have negatively impacted the creators that produce the content from which they derive, the relevant websites derive their profits from, So I'm chilling on that, but I empathize, Anyway. But yeah, I gotta do the live announcements. I haven't even done that yet. The stream hasn't even really started, and it's been 30 minutes, and I've been yapping.